I'm James Cridland, the radio futurologist. In the US, iHeartRadio has launched what it claims is a first, a radio station that just plays podcasts.
iHeart Podcast AM 1470.
This hour is a sample of the 25,000 podcasts available now on the iHeartRadio app.
The Natalie entitled iHeartRadio podcast channel AM 1470 in Allentown in Bethlehem in Philadelphia will broadcast podcasts from the iHeartRadio catalogue 24 hours a day. When I tuned into the radio station, which appears not to be geolocked to us foreigners, by the way, I heard Hell and Gone, a true crime podcast. But of course...
So, that's it. This is where Rebecca stayed the last weekend of her life.
We finally find it. It's a blue-gray double-wide trailer in the middle of nowhere at the end of a dirt road. Whatever bad thing happened to Rebecca, it started here.
The podcast headed for a commercial break, and on the radio I heard a promotion for another podcast, followed by being thrown into the middle of an NBC News radio bulletin, literally the middle of a sentence. Then an ad for the iHeartMedia Lehigh Valley Career Expo, an ad for a Lehigh Valley Christian Foundation or something, a PSA from the Pennsylvania Police telling me to drive carefully, and then a jingle to promote the iHeartRadio player, and back into the podcast. iHeartRadio incorrectly claimed that they were running the first podcast awards last year, and similarly incorrectly claimed that this is the first radio station to play podcasts 24/7. It isn't. That accolade goes to KYCY, a former radio station in San Francisco that aired KYOU, an all-podcast format, back in May 2005. To put that into context, that was even before Apple had discovered podcasts. KYCY is no longer. It's now KGMZ, a sports station. But a non-stop podcast station sounds, well, like a strange idea. The whole point of podcasts is that they're on demand. So why would you make a radio station out of them? It's a strange listen. It's a set of relatively random pieces of content linked together on a linear radio station. You might hear some drama, followed by some educational programming, followed by a bit of news, and then perhaps some comedy. And then I realised that's exactly what NPR is, or what ABCRN is, or what BBC Radio 4 is. They all broadcast a slightly random collection of individual shows linked together on a linear radio station. iHeartRadio podcast channel AM 1470 is airing on WSAN, which had a 0.3 share with its previous format of Spanish-language sport from ESPN, a format that's still referenced on its website, and it covers 728,000 people. So would an all-podcast, all-the-time radio station really gain an audience? I'm not so sure, but is airing evergreen content from podcasting a good way to fill off-peak programming like evenings and overnights? On first listen, yeah, I can see that working well. Anything's better and more interesting than lazily programmed iPod shuffle radio. It might not be a first, and it might not be entirely for you, but it might get your creative juices flowing in terms of what you could broadcast on the radio. Local podcasts, or podcasts of interest to your audience? Well, there just might be something in it. You can get my weekly newsletter at james.crid.land and daily podcast news from podnews.net. And until next time, keep listening.